podcast about something where each week we dive deep into whatever it is we find interesting. I'm your host, Calvin, and joining me on top of his soapbox, it's your co-host, Nick Richardson.
You know, it's really nice to be back. I'm enjoying it up here. Now I'm comfortable. I have a chair, a beer cooler. I'm ready to get into it.
But really, the truth is, we've got a lot of problems with you people. And not just you, the listeners, but you, the general you, out in the world. And now you're going to hear it.
Bro?
Huh?
Nothing.
I got you.
I got some fucking grievances.
Just everyone. Yeah, today we are airing our grievances. We did this last year one time in July, and we just decided we're going to make this an annual thing. Every July, we're going to get together and air our grievances. So that's what we're doing. We have it broken into 6 categories, I think: work, travel, dining, entertainment / media, education, and shopping.
Yes.
These may be coronavirus heavy because that's what's going on in the world right now. I know I have a few that are pretty coronavirus specific, but I feel like they might carry over into the real world after coronavirus is gone. But we got some great Twitter feedback, and I'm ready to jump in and just be mad for the next hour. Are you?
Well, I mean, I'm ready to be euphoric, bro. That shit was so therapeutic.
That's true.
It gave me a whole year. I felt so good for the past year. And now I got the itch, and I got to get it out.
And now that we know this is going to be a yearly thing, because, like, I think I brought it up 2-3 months ago to you, not, like, right after we finished the last one. I was like, hey, let's just do this every year. July's coming up. We did it last July. Let's do it again. So we didn't have as much time to prepare, but now that we know we're going to be doing it yearly, we'll just jot shit down throughout the whole year.
It's been a fucked up year. It's, to say the least.
Yeah.
Y'all know that out there.
All right. So, let's start with work. I'm going to go first.
Hit me.
People who can't use computers, but they use computers every day to do their job. And it's not just like, okay, so I'm in IT, right? So this one sticks a little close. It's not just like you don't know how to do the things that I know how to do on a computer. It's you don't know how to do your job on your computer when you use your computer to do your job every day. But you're just like, I don't know, the computer doesn't work. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, you did something to it. That was you. Well,
just grab by the shirt. What did you do?
There was an error. It said something not working, stop, something, error. You know, that's important information. Now I have to try and figure out what you did to cause that error and see what it actually said. If you'd have just written it down or taken a screenshot or literally done anything. Or just left it there.
Yeah. Don't fucking do anything, dude.
No, but yeah, so that one really bothers me. It's not like, because I can do a lot of things with computers that other people can't do, obviously. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting that you use your computer every day. I expect you to be able to open an Excel file and put fucking numbers into it without needing my help.
That's pretty pitiful. I mean, if that's your job and you can't do something, that's just incompetence or unwillingness to fucking learn something. And that shit pisses me off.
In my company, there's a lot of just like, let's accept idiocy and hold everyone's hands through showing them, like, through this thing that they don't understand, even though there's no reason they can't understand it. They've been told, they've been trained. And I get it. If something new, you got to show people what to do. But if I make a whole PowerPoint on all the steps to do it and send you that PowerPoint, and then you're calling me a week later saying you don't know what to do, that's not my problem anymore. Figure it out.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yes.
Click.
I mean, my next grievance, I mean, you get to go, but I have 3 work grievances, and my next one has to do with phone calls. So we'll get to that. Let's hear what you got first.
I was going to say, I would just, if they called me and said that, I'd be like, please refer to my past bullshit. Click. So, this one is pretty specific to my job as well. I work for a food distributor, so I specifically in the produce department, so I handle fruits and vegetables.
Shout out Fruit of the Loom. Wait, that's not what they do.
Those are great underwear. Jordan.
No, he was a Hanes. Yeah, he's Hanes.
Yeah.
When
blasphemy.
we get our hands on you. That was his whole thing. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. I remember the tagless ones.
Yeah.
And it's just yellow eyes. Buy these tagless underwear, bitch.
Anyway.
Scotty Burrow, you hoe. Anyway. So, I work in a giant cooler, which at the end of the day, we get a specialty delivery, basically, of, produce, special order, shit like that. So I usually have 8 to 10 warehouse guys just staring at me while I look through this produce for, 35, 40 minutes, talking shit. There's like 9 of them, all making $45 to $50 an hour. And they're just fucking staring. They refuse to go anywhere. It's like they all have something that they, don't have to do anymore. Like, they're busy-ass people. They should have something to fucking do. But it's like they drop everything to come watch me and just, like, whisper to each other for a second.
Are these
this fucking dumb asshole?
So, you probably already said this, and I glossed over it. These are people who manage you or higher up on the organization chart, or they're like line workers or drivers or warehouse guys?
I should have been more specific. They're warehousemen on forklifts, so they're the ones that like would put the produce away.
So they've got to wait for you to go through it anyway, because you're like quality checking it, right? So they've got to wait for you to be done with it before they can stack it wherever it needs to go.
Correct.
But they have other
all
things.
That, so thank you for dissecting that.
They have other things they could be doing rather than staring at you.
They could literally do fucking anything. They could fuck off and spin in circles for all I care. There's shit. Pick up some garbage.
Or forklift chicken. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, go have a smoke break. Take a fucking nap. I don't care. Why do you have... And they like to, like, stand amongst my shit. So it's, I gotta move around them. And half the time it's just like, dude, get the fuck out of my way.
I'm with you there,
So
actually.
I'm the asshole. Because it's like, okay, you're impeding me from doing my job. And I think that's kind of where I'm getting is it's a big impedance. Fuck off. If you're one of those people that just, like, you could do something, like, there's a million things to do. You could help me for all I care. It'll move along faster for you. But instead, you just sit there and you stare at me with your mouth breathing, slowly blinking, and just like a sponge. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's the end.
That's
the end of my crybaby story.
No, I'm with you there. I do not like people watching me work. Even if I'm doing everything perfectly, it's like this extra pressure that every button I push has to be right, or like just like somebody over my shoulder. I don't like while I'm like I build a lot of reports, right? So part of that is I have to show people the reports when they're done. Usually I just email them to them, say, if there's any problems, let me know. But sometimes while I'm in the middle of it, somebody walks in and goes, let me see what you're doing. And it's like, okay, here's the thing, and here's this, and here's this. And I'm trying to show them and trying to fix things on the fly, and like I can't do it. Like, let me put it up on a projector, let me turn my monitor. I don't want you sitting over my shoulder staring at me.
I hate that.
And then then there's one guy who just, like, even if he's not coming in to see what I'm working on, he instinctively walks behind my computer screen and like next to me. So my office, my chair faces the door, and I have 2 screens like in front of my face basically. So if you wanted to see what was going on my screens, you'd have to walk all the way around the desk behind me and my chair to see it. But this guy does that even if he's just coming in to say, hey, what'd you do for the weekend? Like, he comes around and starts looking at my computer. And it's not to see like that I'm working or anything like that. It's just he needs to be right fucking next to me. Obviously, it doesn't happen anymore in coronavirus, but he does that. And this guy has literally taken my computer out of my hands before to try and like type something on it. Yeah, I was not happy. Like, I'm sitting there showing him something, and he's looking over my shoulder, and then he just grabs my laptop out from in front of me. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, who the fuck do you think I am? I hate that when people try to, like, it almost feels like a power move. Maybe that's the caveman in me, but it's like, that's
definitely what this guy is doing.
Well, when you walk up on me like that, and I'm still in my chair, your dick is remarkably close to my face. I'm not appreciating, and you're talking down to me. I'm not really down for that. And then he takes your shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd fucking choke that dude.
He didn't do it in the office setting. Like, he did it one time in like a conference room where we're at a meeting, and it's like a break in the meeting, and I was showing him something on my computer. He's like, oh yeah, let me see that. And he grabs it out and starts typing. I'm like, just fucking tell me what you want to type. You don't get to touch my computer.
Bitch. But to go back to, I have a guy to go back to the produce coming in, he's the guy that goes and picks it up every day. And he is the most bumfuck. He's illiterate. I don't know how the fuck he has a job. I don't know how he survives. Mostly because he comes up to me every day. He's like, hey man, you got any green peppers? Can I get some of them green peppers?
Yeah, we're a fucking produce
just, like,
department. We have everything.
So close. Well, he's like, because if I'm going to throw them away, I can give them away to the guys. And most of the time I'll be like, hey, do you need, mushrooms, whatever? I'm the produce guy. You can have whatever the fuck you want. If I can't sell it, well, I mean, why not?
I got what you need.
Yeah,
Got that
let me hook you
good.
up. But what I can't stand
Cucumbers,
is this man.
fucking watermelons, got it all.
I have some more to share about that later. But he does not wear underwear.
Ugh.
And
Get out of here with that.
he leaves his ass hanging out
Yeah,
all the fucking time. Ugh, like it's like a running gag, I guess, at work where you'll just turn around and his fucking ass is right there. Usually you can smell it from a good bit away, but I don't know why people are cool with that. I'm sitting there like, dude, what the fuck? I don't want to see this dude's stanky ass.
File an
We're
HR
around
report.
food,
Nick.
like, what the fuck?
Sexual harassment.
These people. He works like on the side for the owners of the company.
Never gonna
out at the farm. It's just like, oh man, you guys are fucking this dude up. He brings his like stinky, shitty boots and puts them in a locker. It's just like, god damn it, I hate you so much. I fucking hate your guts.
That's what we're here for today. This is our own therapy session. Don't need real therapy because we can just talk shit here.
Everybody's got a Scott.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got a guy that takes shit out of their hands.
Oh, yeah.
People get it.
So my next one, I hinted at this earlier, phone calls. And I think I've probably mentioned this before. I may have even aired this grievance the last time. Don't fucking call me. Ever. Whatever conversation we have, I'm going to forget about it 12 seconds after I hang up. And 90% of the time, if somebody's calling me and they're asking me to do something on the phone call, I tell them to send me an email because I'm not going to remember it. I'm usually not in front of my computer. I'm doing something else. Just send me an email. My email box is literally a to-do list for me. If it's marked unread, I have to do it still. If your request isn't in there, it's not going to get done. And I have tried to stress this to people every time they call. I'm like, don't call me. Send me an email. Send me an email. Send me an email. We even tried to institute this whole new process for bringing up issues where it's just an email to an email address because there's more than one of us and people don't know who to call me or to call somebody else or to call this person. It's like, just send it to this one email address and we'll filter it and get it out to you. People still just fucking call all the time. I don't answer the phone.
Everybody's all mad at you about it.
Well, yeah, people get pissed because I don't answer the phone. I'm like, if only there was a way, an easy way that we told you could get in contact with us and you would have a response at least when you could expect a real response. Because we have a whole automated system set up that sends them, hey, you're priority 1, 2, or 3. This is when you can expect a response. Nah, they just fucking call me.
That's fucking pitiful, dude. And people.
And so it's not just for work. More importantly, the idea of phone calls are just extremely rude. The idea of a phone call. What you're saying by calling me is...
It's a funny point of view.
What you're saying by calling me is I'm supposed to just stop what I'm doing, answer your call, shift into whatever it is you need from me. Then, when you're done talking about whatever bullshit you have to talk about, I have to try to get back to what I was doing. That was probably more important anyways. And I, as a general rule, ignore probably around 87% of incoming phone calls because I don't know what's on the other side of them. I like to know what's going to be discussed before I answer a call or talk to somebody. I need to know what we're talking about because when you call me, I can't always give you an answer right away. I can't jump right into answering what you need. I might already be doing something that's more important. That's super likely. I'm usually doing something more important than whatever your bullshit is. Or I'm not in front of my computer to get the answer for you right away. That's likely a lot too. I spend a lot of time on the road. Or it takes longer than like 3 seconds to research, troubleshoot, and answer your fucking question. And I don't need to be sitting on the phone with you while I'm trying to figure it out what you need while you're asking me more questions and giving me more shit. Like, ask your question and get off the phone if that's going to be what it is. But more importantly, just send me a fucking email. Let me figure out what I can. And if I have questions or need clarification, I can just reply to that. Or I can call you back and ask. But if you call me and I don't know what you're asking me, I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Especially like the troubleshooting part where you need a couple seconds and it's that awkward silence.
Like, it's just silent and I'm trying to think. And just like, oh, what's going on? It's like,
yeah,
just leave me the fuck alone.
You close?
Yeah. It's super pointless for someone to call me, ask me 100 questions about something that I'm not looking at, for me to just tell you to send me an email anyways. Why are you calling me if every time you call me I tell you to send me an email? And people have caught on to the fact that I say send me an email because like I'll talk to them and like try and go through it off the top of my head and they're like, yeah, I'll send you an email. Good, start with that. Why did you call me?
Yeah,
why did we waste this 10 minutes on the phone?
I'm glad we had this talk. Not
also
bitch.
Great thing about emails is there's a paper trail of the conversation. With a call,
100%.
either side can claim whatever they want happened during that call, whether it happened or not, or whether one side looks bad or the other side looks bad. Doesn't matter. With an email, I just go right back to it, look at it, make sure I've got everything right, send you exactly what you need, rather than going, did he say this? Let me call him back now and find out. Or let me send him an email to find out. No, you send me the email, I've got everything I need.
Right? No hearsay.
Fucking hate phone calls so much.
Yeah,
Except talking, like, I'll call my wife on the phone, that's about it.
Yeah, that's the only...
But at the same moment, like, if she doesn't answer, I'm just like, okay, she's doing something more important. Like, she can't talk to me about the bullshit of my day right now. I get that. Or if, like, I call her and she's, like, trying to push me off the phone right away, I'm just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you're juggling kids or you're working or doing something. Like, people are busy. I get that 100%. I mean, I have a problem with phone calls at my job, too, because like I said, I work in a giant cooler. It's loud as fuck, and my phone's usually 50 to 60 yards away from me. So, I don't hear phone calls, and people just come up furious at me. Like, why just... usually just fucking irate and not making any sense, and I'm the kind of guy that... I ask, like, very direct questions. Mm-hmm. Just, hit me with the fucking facts so we can move on. And that pisses people off more, and it just totally muddies the water. So it's like, just send me a fucking email. Well, I'll answer everything. I got notifications to my phone and a watch.
Yep. If I can answer it right away, great. I can jump on my phone and answer it. If not, it goes into the to-do box. I do it when I can. And along with that, I have people that will, kind of what you were saying, is they get mad if you don't answer the phone, right? But they don't leave a voicemail. And I've tried to stress, like, leave a voicemail so I know that what you needed is important. Because if I just see a missed call, I'm not calling you back because I don't know what you needed and I'm doing something else. Like, I'm always doing something else. I'm not going to stop to do whatever you think I need to do if it's not important enough to leave a voicemail or send me an email. But I have people that'll call me 3 times within 10 minutes. Like, first of all, if I didn't answer the first time, I'm probably doing something. Maybe I'm taking a shit. Maybe my phone is not on me. There's a million things. Like, why I didn't answer that phone call? Why are you calling me right back 5 seconds later?
I fucking hate that. Inevitably, when you do call them back, they're like, I forgot.
Yeah. Or, oh, well, totally forgot. just real quick. It's not really that important, but when you get a chance, like, why did you call me 3 fucking times then? Or I'll have people that will send the email and then call me 10 seconds after the email and be like, hey, did you see that email I sent you? And it's like, well, I saw that it came in, but I haven't read it and approached it yet because I can't answer things immediately. I need to research and troubleshoot and do things. And you emailed it to me 10 seconds ago, and now you're on the phone with me, so I still can't look at it. I saw it. Move on. If it's in my mailbox, I saw it. If it's been a week and I haven't responded to you, then I probably lost it. Call me.
Give me a call.
Yeah. But don't call me 10 seconds after you send me an email. I've had people also call and then email and then text to make sure I got the email or saw that I missed their call. It's like, it's not a fucking woof here. Just send me one email, I'll get it.
Decided to sell.
Ugh. All right. We got to move past this. I could go on about phone calls all day. I could probably do an hour on just phone calls.
I could do a shit ton on work. There's more.
I've got one more work thing. But this is like work/life.
I think that was like my only other thing that I cannot fucking stand about people at work is when they throw people under the bus.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like I slightly tore a little muscle in my elbow, and that like 90% of my job requires me to use my elbow. So
elbow's an important joint.
Right? And I got to pick up heavy shit up to like, 100 pounds. So I took 3 days off. And then went into the weekend to just kind of recuperate. I went to the doctor, and he's like, dude, you need to take just a couple days off to get over the hump. So my boss was supposed to kind of help cover my position a little bit and
that didn't happen.
Help out my guy, because I got a guy below me that I direct around and shit like that, and help him out so he's not there for 12 hours a day. Oh yeah, man, totally. We're a team. Like, I got this. I'll be there. We planned out. We spent an hour and a half planning it out. This is after he went on vacation for a week, leaving me by myself, and me covering no problem. So then I come back from my time off, and my guy is just burnt the fuck out. So I'm like, dude, what happened? Where was Andy? And he's like, yeah, he came back and he helped me once for about 45 minutes, and he just kind of bitched about tacos the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I've had this isn't like throwing under the bus, but the first time during the coronavirus outbreak, so in March, when we're trying to get everybody ready to work from home, my boss would call me and he'd be like, "We need you here to get this and this," and which great, I'm the guy that gets to go and touch everybody's shit when nobody knows who's sick and who's not. Thanks.
Woo!
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah, in Florida, and like computer monitors and mouses and keyboards, like very high
People
touch
sneeze
surfaces.
on that shit
Yeah.
all the time.
So, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll meet you up there." And he comes, and he gets there like half an hour after I get there, and then he leaves at like 3 o'clock when I've got like 3 more hours of work, and he doesn't help the whole time I'm there getting. He starts with, "Well, let's plan this out," and his plans always just go straight off the rails even before they start. I'm like, "Well, we need to ask their managers where they want everyone and how they want them." "Well, yeah, but let's just think what we should do with them." And it's like, why are we going to think what we should do with them? Because if we think of something, they're going to say something different. Like, let's just ask what they want. They want something. "Well, can we do this? Can we do it?" And he asks all these questions that don't need to be answered and wastes the first like hour and a half that I'm there that I could be getting people ready to move to work from home or move to a less populated office. And then he leaves like an hour after that. And it's just like, okay, cool. But
Yeah, I'll handle it. Thanks.
At least I could get things done once he was gone and stopping asking questions.
Well, that's the thing. I guarantee you, if something went wrong, that dude would have threw you under the fucking bus so quick. And that's what
if
Andy
somebody
did.
Didn't get to the right place, it would have been like, well, he was there helping them. And it's like, well, shit.
Yeah,
I got the
don't know
9
what
other
happened.
people ready, and this one person is missing their mouse. My bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean by it. This motherfucker. We had reports of bad produce going out, so that wouldn't have happened if Andy covered me like he said he fucking would. So this dude throws me under the bus to the rest of the company, to the owner of the fucking company. It's like, dog.
And going along with that is when somebody steals your idea of like, you put all this work into something, and then there's like, well, yeah, we had this report drawn up, and I found this, and this. Like, that happens a lot with me because somebody asks me for a report, and that's it. And I do all the work finding where the data is, putting it together and formatting it and all this, and making sure that people who read it could understand it. And then they'll put it up on like within their presentation and be like, "Oh, you can see we did this, and this, and we put this chart together so we could show this." I'm like, "No, you fucking didn't. I did."
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
You bastard.
All right,
that happens.
So I got one more. This is work/life. 95% of group messages, emails, texts, whatever it is. Why do we need that many people in it? Sometimes
it's a hard and fast rule.
They can be fun if like they're a specific topic and they stay on that topic. Like I have one with 3 friends that we mostly talk football and kind of other things like that. So when NBA playoffs are on, we'll chat about that, or we'll talk about football and when the football season's going. And then like the retweet groups on Twitter, those are usually fine. People understand the decorum there and just like they go in and do their thing and whatnot. Like that's all fine. But a lot of times I'm not ready to answer messages right away, and I want to ignore it. This is happens a lot with work emails, but they copy 5 people on it, right? And I'm the one with the answer. I know just by looking at the subject that I'm the one with the answer, but there's 5 other people on this that need to know the answer as well. And I can't answer that right away because I have to either, find an attachment on my computer, or I have to think of the right words. And in the meantime of me ignoring it and waiting to come back to it until I have the best idea of the thing I want to say, all those other 5 people have started responding with a bunch of shit that is superfluous or not important or the wrong answers. And I'm just like, shut up for a second.
Yeah, slow the fuck down.
We don't like
just
this conversation doesn't need to continue. Just wait until the person with the answer answers it. And there's some that I'm not the person with the answer. It's somebody else that's with it. And I look at it and go, I don't really answer that, but one of these other 5 people will, so I'll just leave it. And the other 4 people are still in there. Every person has to feel like they get their 2 cents in and just can't ignore it because your phone keeps dinging and you think it's something new, but it's just somebody saying something usually unhelpful.
Yeah, everybody feels like they gotta be right sometimes.
Well, they feel like they just have to be part of the conversation, or like they don't realize that this message was sent to 10 people. That doesn't mean all of them have to answer. It wasn't sent specifically to you. We don't need you to say, I don't really know, but maybe this other person, maybe John knows. Well, John's already on it. Let's just wait for him to respond.
You're right.
Plus, you get in
Yeah, I
there
get that.
the
That's a good one.
reply all, right? When a
Yes.
mass email goes out, something company wide, and everybody has to just, okay, I get it. Fuck, you don't have to. We've got like a lot of IT email groups that I'm a part of, and every once in a while, someone will email one of those instead of the IT help desk because the email addresses are similar. And these have hundreds and hundreds of recipients on them. We're a global brand, large number of people. It never fails that like at least 10 people will reply all saying that the person sent the original email to the wrong person and they don't know how to help. I don't think I was supposed to get this. Try sending it to someone else. And then eventually somebody comes in and is like, stop replying all, we get it.
Stop being a dick.
The first person who said that, we don't need 50 people saying that. It's fine.
We understand, Capitan.
My general rule is if there's more than 10 people on an email, you don't hit reply all.
No, that's just shitty.
Yeah. Unless all
That
10
is
people
just
need one single answer.
Very rare. That doesn't happen.
No. All right, let's move into travel. You got anything more for work?
I don't.
All right,
we spent a half hour on work.
Let's move to travel. Yeah, the
travel
work is probably the heaviest one, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely. I really only have one thing for travel.
I do too. I mean, just there's not much travel going on. It hasn't been a thing going on lately.
No, pretty much.
What do you got for travel?
I recently traveled.
Oh.
Actually, I went on a camping trip,
All right.
and it was fucking dope. I loved it. But, excuse me, I noticed a trend that happens on literally every trip I've ever taken, and it was just punctuated by this most recent one. Is that like the lines of communication with like hotels, in my case, a national park, yada yada, never fucking work.
No.
If there's a problem or, you need to talk to someone about something, the phone line's always fucking dead. Or it's always something. Like, there's no one on duty that night.
Well, at least in a hotel,
they
you can
fucking
get down
died.
to the front desk. Like, you can eventually get to the front desk. Campground. Somebody doesn't answer, you're done.
Well, my wife picked a site, and they said it was
Last
like
time we let her
secluded.
pick anything. Thanks a lot.
No, she's got good taste. But the way they set it up, they pictured it all fucking stupid. So it turned out is really just like a little strip of gravel between two trees.
Solid.
So it was, yeah, and like surrounded by a bunch of other people when it was supposed to be kind of off by itself.
I don't really do
we get
camping,
there-
but that doesn't sound like the picturesque campsite.
I was not super happy about it, especially because it's like she had showed me the pictures, she had like, showed me what's up, and it looked awesome. Like I was super excited about it, and then we get there, it's like, man, you guys are like realtors, you fucking boners. And
let's take a picture from the bottom corner of the room so the room looks fucking huge.
And then it's a closet.
Yeah.
So, and we have a tent, and it's like, well, it's literally the first time we got to use this brand new tent that I got on sale. So it's, we didn't want to tear it up on fucking gravel. So we eventually moved camping sites, but I wanted to call someone and just be like, hey, this is what we're doing. So, do we get charged again? Like, I wanted to settle up and kind of figure it out. Phone line's disconnected. Office is closed. Driving around forever, and that just kind of punctuated it for me. Every time I travel somewhere, something goes bananas or goes wrong in some sort. Like, if I fly, TSA, something always fucking happens. Like, I'm a smoker. I'll go out to smoke after talking to someone. They're like, yeah, you can go out and smoke and just come right back in. And then, I go to do that, come back in, and they're like, oh, you got to go back through security, bro. You got to go back all the way through, and there's 500 people in line. It's the same bullshit every time.
You shouldn't smoke. Kids, don't smoke. It's bad for you.
Don't smoke. I grew up around smokers since, like, I was 4 months old, so
Gross.
I think that contributes to it.
I would say so. Yeah.
And that's all I got for travel.
No, I get that.
Shit,
yeah,
dude.
it's always a problem. I used to have problems on road trips, especially, that something would always go wrong. I had a fucking shattered windshield one time. I got food poisoning one time. Actually, I think that was the same trip. Our keys got locked in our car twice. That happened to me. Just always something little inconvenient like that makes a 5-minute stop turn into a 3-hour stop.
I'll touch on a part of that. I had another experience on this travel experience, but I'll touch on it a little later.
Okay.
In another category.
All right.
But I feel you on just the little things that totally derail you.
Yeah, that's always a problem. So my thing, and this is from what I can tell, it's a newer thing. These check-in calls / texts that you get when you check into a hotel, they're stupid and a waste of time. Stop doing it. It's like a call or text you get right after you check into a hotel room to quote unquote make sure everything's okay, or just checking to see if you need anything, right? And it's either a call directly to the room phone, or it's a text from some random ass number to my phone. And the calls, I think they used to be more prevalent, and they would call the room phone like 3 minutes after you walk into the room, and like it would just freak me the fuck out because no one knows I'm here. Why am I getting a phone call all of a sudden? Why
FBI,
why is this phone
are they
ringing?
coming to call?
I've never used a hotel phone. Why is it ringing? And sure enough, I'd always be in there taking a shit because I just drove 4 hours, and that's what you do right when you get in. Or unpacking my suitcase. Yeah, as soon as you get into a hotel, you got to break the bathroom in. Or I'm unpacking my suitcase on the other end of the room. You got to run across the room, and it's always the person you talked to literally 3 minutes ago at the front desk, and they're just like, "Hey, did you make it to your room okay?" Yeah, no shit, I made it to the room okay. If I couldn't get to the room, don't you think I would be back at the front desk right now? Moreover, how would I answer the phone in the room that you just called if I didn't make it to the room okay? So you calling me on the phone is pretty fucking stupid and pointless right now.
Did you find the room okay? Well, I mean, I'm here in under 3 minutes,
yeah,
and there's
I answered the phone.
2,000 rooms in this hotel, so yeah, I guess
good,
so.
Yeah. But
you watched me on the camera the whole way here.
So now they've moved into sending a text message directly to your cell phone, which to me is even weirder because, like I said, it's coming from a random number from the area code that you just happen to be in. And I don't recognize that number. My mind, again, just goes crazy with who the fuck is sending me a text message because, like, I've got the smartwatch on, so, like, I feel something and I look at it and I don't recognize the number. I'm like, what the fuck is a number from 412 texting me? What even is that? Did my wife get in some random accident and a stranger found her? Like, all kinds of crazy shit, And then you
worst case scenario.
You find your phone and it's, want to make sure you found the room. Let us know if you need anything. It's like, no shit. I'm a fucking diamond member of your rewards program. I know how a fucking hotel works and who to ask if I need something. I don't need you calling me. I don't need you texting me. Is there anyone out there? Please let us know on Twitter if there's anyone out there that likes this type of communication. I want to know.
I'm sure there's
if you want the front desk checking on you 10 seconds after you walk into the hotel room. I can't imagine somebody likes that. And I get the hotel thinks it's going above and beyond and providing great service, but to me it's just fucking annoying.
Yeah, you want to go above and beyond, bring me some hot wings at like 1:30 in the morning.
That'd be good.
I'm super down for that.
Or when, I get my delivery food, just let them come to my room. Don't call me from the fucking front desk and ask me if it's okay if they come up. Yes, I fucking ordered the food. They can come up and bring me my food.
Yeah, that's no bueno either.
All right, speaking of Twitter, let's hit the Twitter.
Let's do it.
At APA something, at @alone_podcast on Twitter. We said we're airing our grievances tonight for next week's episode. Let us know what really grinds your gears in the comments for a shout out. First up, we got Nick Amell from the Tennis Podcast at the Nick Amell. People shooting fireworks for the 2 weeks before and the 2 weeks after 4th of July. This is very prescient. This will air after 4th of July, but we're recording it right before 4th of July. So we're on both ends here. And yeah, fuck those people.
They're dicks, man. It's ugh.
Here where I live,
I agree 100%.
It's not only 4th of July. It's fucking New Year's. It's like Christmas, people set them off. Halloween. It's really just any Memorial Day, Flag Day, fucking Arbor Day. People are shooting off fireworks. Why? What do they do? What are you accomplishing?
Completely random.
Yeah.
And it's super illegal here in Illinois. Like, you gotta go across the border to get fireworks. So, people go fucking it's like they splurge on it. It's like a cokehead who goes and gets a bunch of coke.
Here's an idea.
They just drop a shit ton of money.
And then you got some for next year when you don't use them all on 4th of July.
No, they just sit there and fire them off for a month
4 days,
straight.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I think the latest we had was like January 10th one time. Not from 4th, it was from New Year's. That'd be really bad if it was January 10th from 4th of July. But like it was that long after the actual holiday.
I just hear them randomly around here.
No, those are gunshots, Nick.
I live in a good neighborhood, Calvin. I live in a better neighborhood. What the one I used to live in, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's go to Self Shoots from the Hip podcast at Self Shoots. Great podcast. Check him out. When people respond with, what about black on black crime? This is, again, very prescient. A lot of Black Lives Matter protest. We want black people to feel safe in their interactions with police. And, personal complaint. Police are harming black people at an alarming rate. And somebody goes, well, black people kill more black people than any other group. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's not the fucking point. And I don't know where you're bringing those stats from.
Yeah, I think you're being oddly specific. And what I use to diffuse people like that is I look at them dead in the face and I say, well, yeah, I don't understand your point, but
that's not right either.
Who's the one shooting up all the schools?
Right. And
that's kind of where I always go for it. And they'll try to flounder for a second, and most of the time they just shut the fuck up.
Also, cops are not supposed to kill people, regardless if they stole something or ran in front of their car or are peacefully protesting. They are not supposed to shoot someone. That's my argument that I don't like of, well, that kid stole those cigars, so he committed a crime. Yet that's not a death sentence. You can't shoot somebody because they stole cigars. Or, they broke into that guy's house. Okay, again, he should be arrested and processed. No need to shoot people for minor crimes. I get it if somebody's got a gun pointing at you. Yeah, okay, then you probably need your gun. But if this guy jaywalked, you don't need to pull your gun out on him. If he's speeding, you probably don't need your gun.
I mean, that just always makes me think, like, you little dick, man. You little... yeah. It bothers me. I worked in security, dealt with a lot of that. And it was fucking alarming. First-hand experience, it's fucking alarming.
And every person that stole something from that Macy's, did you shoot them?
No, most of them I let them go.
What about the black people? Did you shoot the black people?
No, okay, dude. What was
good
fucking
job, Nick.
Annoying is I didn't have a gun.
Yeah, that helps.
So there's that.
But what you have?
And what I have, absolutely not. The white kids, though, they were the ones that were fucking annoying.
Yeah, and so I've noticed that rich kids with nothing better to do are the ones committing most minor crimes.
Yes, I hate them. I hate them so much.
Breaking and enterings, just like breaking the laws because they can and they have nothing better to do. And they know their daddies will get them out of it. Right.
Yep.
And this, what about black on black crime? That goes right along with all lives matter. Like, yeah, they do, but that's not what we need to focus on right now.
I 100% agree. There's a great analogy out there. I'm not going to say it, but there's a great analogy out there about parenthood and like multiple children and a hurt child.
Right.
You focus on that one.
Right. Exactly. You focus on the thing that needs attention. All right. Next, JVD of the Villains Demand at Villains Demand. When a publishing company uses variant covers to print one page across 10 covers that tell a story extremely important to one of the major ongoing comics.
This one hits so close to home.
You gotta go in on this one because I don't know enough about it.
Okay, it's absolutely stunningly maddening. They recently did a new Venom line and Absolute Carnage line. Mm-hmm. Very good comic
books. I've got the Absolute Carnage on my to read list.
The reboot Venom by Donny Cates is so fucking good. It's insane.
Check that out too.
But once they hit Absolute Carnage, it became like 10 different series. So if you wanted the whole story or like, basically a different view of the same story, and it's just, you have
Civil
to get
War
10 different titles to get everything.
I remember
Not nearly as bad.
There are like 4
super
offshoots of it, yeah.
Everything's got like 10 offshoots, or every like Action Comics 1000.
You gotta have every person that was in the original comic. You gotta have their point of view.
Well, that and their covers too. So I think there was like 15 or 20 specialty Action Comics 1000, and oh my god, Captain America 750 was the same way. Fucking bullshit, dude. It's annoying.
All comics matter.
Well, I mean, I just want the story. This just encourages people to buy, trade paperbacks because
You wait until it's all
Ugh,
collected and you can read it in one thing. Yeah, I get it.
well, they're $4 a comic book, man. So it's like to get my whole Absolute Carnage story, I had to buy Scream, which was awful. I had to buy
and
a bunch of
they print
offshoots that were just terrible.
on 10 different variants, and like 3 of them are good. But you got to read all 10 of them
to get the full
Yeah.
story, and then they'll put like the asterisks and then a blurb like see issue
Yeah, and you got to jump
2
back
of
and
this
forth
terrible series.
Yeah. I get it.
So that Doomsday, I think that was his name. No, it was Damage. The Dark Knight's Metal one I was talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It was fucking awful, stupid as fuck. But to get the whole story, gotta read it.
Yeah, I think I remember when I did Dark Knight's Metal, I had to bounce around quite a bit. And it's not like just let me read it. I get it. All right, Geek Nerd Podcast, # Black Lives Matter, @Geek Nerd Pod. People who can't follow the huge ass yellow arrows in shops one-way system. Yeah, this is a real good one.
It's a problem. It's such an
always the
arbitrary
exact
thing
same
to
person too.
Well, I mean, it's just like everyday life. You don't drive on the left side of the road. Just fucking. No. It's the same concept.
And it's
you
really
have
not that hard
to
go down to the next aisle and circle around.
It's good for you. Yeah. Get the steps in.
Maybe you'll see something you want on that aisle too. I was at a Walmart neighborhood market, which is like just the groceries side. Yeah, it's just the groceries of Walmart. It doesn't have all the other shit. And we're there. It was when we were on vacation a couple weeks ago. So we're there just picking up supplies that we can make food at the rental house we have. And they've got the arrows everywhere. And one lady was literally backing down the aisles the right way. And like then she got I heard her on the phone. She's like, yeah, I'm just walking backwards down these aisles because the arrows are pointing the other direction. So that way I can go down this aisle. I'm like, no, that's not the fucking point. Just go around the other way.
Just take 2 seconds.
It's not so you walk backwards down it so you're not face to face. It's so everyone's moving in the same direction and people don't run into each other or running over each other. Jesus.
Well, they think they're gaming the system. Yeah. It's like, so big of you. Just follow the goddamn arrows. It's really not hard.
Follow
the
goddamn
arrows.
Wear a
fucking mask.
Wear your mask. It's not that difficult. Literally the only thing people are asking you to do. The Core Extra podcast @core_extra. People who balance their checkbooks in the checkout line. Yes, it still happens. # 2020. Why are you paying with checks? And why are you? Even if you have to pay with a check, like it'll be online in 2 days. Like just go check your online account after that.
Well, it's the ancient, decrepit people who got to fill it out right fucking then.
I mean, I live in Florida. I know all about ancient, decrepit people. I get it.
I'm surprised you don't see this everywhere you fucking go, man.
I use a lot of self-checkout.
It's always older women.
Applicable.
Fair. They don't use that.
No.
I
always try and. I very strategically pick the lanes. Like I'm not gonna get in a lane behind older people if I can avoid it because I know shit like this happen. And I'm down to having to write 1 check for 1 bill now, and it's our landscaping company. That's the only one I have to pay with check by. Which is bullshit. Like, get a fucking PayPal account. Come on.
This is bullshit. Just set it up for him, Calvin. You IT guy.
Hey, I made you this PayPal account. Here's the password. I'm just going to start sending my payments here.
Okay.
Feel free to use it with your other customers. I'm sure they'll appreciate it because it's not 1994.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
The Untitled Gaming Podcast @TugPod. Video games with terrible escort missions. Yeah, fuck escort missions. For real.
World of Warcraft, notorious.
Literally any game. The Spider-Man PS4 game had the stupid Mary Jane escort missions where you can't. Well, I guess that was an escort. That was you were just Mary Jane and you couldn't do anything. Like I'm fine playing with Mary Jane, but like let's give her some skills.
Got to.
Not just here hide behind this thing. Now walk. Now hide. Now walk. Now hide. That's fucking bullshit.
Now take a picture.
Yeah. And yeah, same thing with if you got to escort somebody and you can't keep track. It's really bad when you can't keep track of the person. Like there's a run around like a crazy person. It's like, stay with me. I'm here to protect you, dude.
Listen, guy. The Last of Us did a good job about not having it be that way with Ellie.
Good for The Last of Us. Thank you for all the feedback on Twitter. We didn't do a poll this week because it's hard to do a poll about airing grievances, but we did ask for feedback, which was great, @APA something. @alone_podcast. You can always interact there. We got to move through this. We got 4 more categories still. But again, we should start flying. Dining. What do you got, Nick?
This one, not much dining going on.
Absolutely not.
Where I'm at, you still cannot eat indoors. So outdoor seating is the shit right now. Or pick up and to go. So my fucking thing is the complete lack of wherewithal by companies. So like my wife and I ordered takeout from Texas Roadhouse on a Friday night. It was supposed to be ready at like 5:30. Fucking love Texas Roadhouse. Their CEO is super dope too. But anyway, we put the order in. They say it's going to be ready at like 6. So I leave our house about 5:40. It's like a 4-minute drive from where we live. And I get there and there's probably 100 cars in line. Wrapping all the way around like an entire block. It's based by our mall. Yeah. So, I mean, it's wrapping all the way the fuck around. And they had one person running orders in and out. And one person checking people in.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It drove me
a lot of people are unemployed right now. Hire some fucking food runners.
I mean, just there's 60 parking spaces that we can use.
That too.
Like literally, all you have to do is just be like, boom, you're checked in. What's your name? Okay, you're checked in. But it was a lengthy they needed your name, phone number, like what you ordered, a whole bunch of information.
Everything that you already gave them when you put in your order.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, one person running orders in and out. So, I mean, all in all, by the time I got my fucking food, it was ice cold. It was still okay, because it's Texas Roadhouse and it was, rolls and shit. But that's what pissed me. I got there fucking early. I did everything I was supposed to do.
And I still
had to wait for an hour.
Yeah, I'm on the other end of the spectrum there, because we live in Florida and the companies are the only thing keeping any line of decorum at all. Like, if companies didn't have their corporate policies, it would just be madness here. People would be everywhere. You go into a corporately owned restaurant or like a chain restaurant and they've got tables blocked off. You can't eat inside, but they have tables blocked off for distancing. They've got dots on the floor and lines of which way to go, all that. So the companies are the only people trying to hold any type of social distancing values in place, which is nice. I went to Moe's. This was like, I want to say in April. It was before everything shut down the first time. So yeah, it was late March, early April. And you know how Moe's, you go in and it's got like a line and you just go line by line and tell them what to add to your fucking tacos or whatever. And I'm there and this dude just walks up right next to me and is just standing there, and I kind of give him like the glance of like, back the fuck off. And he hasn't ordered his food yet, and then every step he's just right on top of me, and I'm like, dude. And I couldn't go any further because there's somebody in front of me, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Not wearing a mask, nothing like that. And it's just like, if companies didn't have any policies, everybody would be dead in Florida by now.
See, I 100% agree. Florida's it's like the wild, wild west.
It's something,
in a swamp.
Yeah, it's something.
But see, I guess I'm an asshole. Maybe I'm an asshole. Let me know on Twitter. Am I an asshole? But I do this with old people, young people. I don't give a shit. Super hot chicks, I don't care. If you're up my fucking ass, I will turn to you and say, do you need to stand so close to me? Like, can you please just back the fuck up a little bit?
So here's the thing. He was a respectable distance for normal times. He wasn't that close, but he was too close for coronavirus times, right?
And bro, it's Corona, and it's Florida, and it's tacos.
I think if it happened now, I would turn to him and say something. But this was still earlier on in the process, and everything hadn't shut down yet. So, the scare wasn't as high at that point. So I was just like, what's going on in the world, right? You can stay 3 feet back, please. It's not that fucking hard. But that wasn't my thing. My thing is very much like the hotel situation. I don't need a push notification 7 minutes after I've received my food asking how it was.
Still eating it.
We've had a lot of use of delivery apps lately. A lot of activity going on there. And they love fucking push notifications to rate it, give your tip, whatever. Like, I haven't even eaten the food yet, just like you said. Why do apps think they constantly need to annoy you? You know, that's kind of a major issue about eating at restaurants is when the server constantly visits your table too many times, like on a slow night because they're bored and they keep coming every 2 minutes to check how you're doing and you haven't even finished the last bite that they were there for. It's just like, back off. It's good. I'll let you know if we need something. And the push notifications, they do it anyways. And they do it to annoy you because they know you're not going to turn off your notification because you need the notifications for the actual delivery updates. You can't just mute all the notifications from the app. Otherwise, you lose your delivery notification. You don't know when that guy's going to show up at your door and you need pants on.
It's fucking anarchy.
Yeah. Secondly,
it's travesty in a shit.
With your delivery apps, if I order off of a delivery app, pandemic or not, I am actively trying to avoid seeing and talking to other people. I don't need or want the delivery person to talk to me for 5 minutes after they brought me my food. You brought it to me. I have it. I want to eat it. Get the fuck out of my house. Let me eat it.
Yeah.
Or not out of my house, but out of my doorway. Especially true now during the pandemic. I don't need you standing in my door with no mask telling me a story about your Uncle Al. Just get on with your life.
Leave it on my porch.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to get ravaged by coyotes. Just leave it on my goddamn porch.
Well, yeah,
I'll fucking get it.
They introduced the contactless delivery, which is great, but like 60% of the drivers here still just stand there and wait for you anyways. I just want to make sure you get it. No, that's the whole point. Drop it. I'll get it.
Yeah, go sit in your car. Like, you can see.
Or, like, if I don't get it, that's not your problem. That's my problem. I'm not going to give you a bad review because you left it on my doorstep like I asked you to.
99.
Yeah.
I'd say like 60% of people would do that, though.
There's a percentage that would definitely give a bad review for the person doing something they legitimately asked them to do. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move. Stupid. Are we done with dining?
I am done with dining.
All right, entertainment/media. I'm going to go first here. This one's fresh in my mind. On-screen keyboards for smart TV apps or video games, things like that. Can we please just settle on one layout? Every single app has a different keyboard. Some are QWERTY, some are alphabetical, some have weird special characters, others have different sets of special characters. Some of them you can use shift, others you can just do caps lock. Let's just settle on one keyboard layout, make it easy. This goes for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Roku's, Apple TVs, fucking Fire Sticks, anything where I have to type my password onto your in-screen app, give me the same fucking keyboard layout. Please.
Yeah, go universal. Shit. We're used to it.
Is so fucking annoying of like, oh, well, my PlayStation, it's in alphabetical order and the caps lock's over here and you have to push caps lock every time you need a capital letter. But on the Netflix app, it's QWERTY and there's just a shift key that you can hit the shift key or a caps lock key. And then on the Hulu app, there's something different. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? I thought we agreed on what the keyboard should look like. Like, we all have it. Right. We use a computer every day. We know what a keyboard should look like. Just give me that.
You designed this layout on one of those keyboards.
Sometimes they've got the number pad up there. Sometimes you got to move into a different menu for the number pad. Like, come on. Just give me...
Click this, hold this.
Give me a normal fucking keyboard on my screen. That's all I need. And
I'll love you
don't
forever.
Give me a voice remote. I don't want to talk into it because you can't hear me anyways. I know that was on my last airing of grievances. Just give me a keyboard. I know what it looks like.
I can work with that.
All right, what do you got?
Okay. The drastic shift in tone amongst I'm going with like, here's a good example, is the NFL.
Okay.
In regards to like the Black Lives Matter movement and Colin Kaepernick and shit like that.
You mean where 4 years ago they didn't give a shit?
When 4 years ago they actively blackballed this extremely talented quarterback for taking a stance that was menial in the greater scheme of things, and now they're like,
and now we gotta listen. Now we gotta listen to Roger Goodell go on for 2 minutes about how he cares about his black players because the black players stepped up and made their own video first and put actual care and thought behind it. So Roger Goodell's like, oh yeah, I better go say something. It's like, no, you fucking had your chance. They
backed him into a corner.
Yeah,
they backed him into a corner because he gave them no other fucking option.
Right.
Which
he had a chance 4 years ago to do the right thing. And same thing with all of the owners that are out there who are like, yeah, I'm going to kneel with my players. No, you had your fucking chance 4 years ago. You chose not to.
Well, and you actively chose to just not sign this dude, not entertain it, and, badmouth the motherfucker.
Yep.
I admire Colin Kaepernick. I admire what he did. It makes me sick to my stomach seeing the NFL do that shit. I'm not going to go so far and be like, oh, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to this and that. I'm still going to watch the NFL. But it drastically takes away from the fun of the game in my mind, because that's just more business infecting the game.
Knowing Roger Goodell is back there like doing shit to actively, whatever the hell he's doing, pisses me off every time. And anytime they show Roger Goodell on there, and it's the same thing. So I have a problem with LeBron James, the way he approaches his activism, and some of the other larger name NBA players are like this, is they do easy things to show activism, right? Colin Kaepernick did something difficult. He did something where he legitimately lost his job, right? And
he lost
that
his
first
career.
time he sat on the bench, we were having our fantasy football draft party that day. We saw it live in a preseason game, because I'll usually throw on like whatever preseason game's on or whatever, or a college football game. There just happened to be preseason on that day, so I threw that on. I saw him sitting there. I go, he just lost his job. He's not going to play in the NFL anymore. And to his credit, he played that season a few games. But he came up with a good idea. He worked with ex-military people, and he tried to find the best solution, and nobody wanted to have the best solution, to listen to what he was actually saying. But then you have somebody like LeBron James who's like, oh yeah, I think Kaepernick's got a point, but won't take a knee. Well, it's against our rules in the NBA. So that's the whole fucking point of protest. It's not protest if you're not willing to put yourself on the line. If it doesn't cost you anything, then what are you really doing? You're not being an activist if it doesn't cost you anything.
Well, and it's peaceful too. It wasn't
right.
He wasn't.
You think Adam Silver's going to suspend LeBron James for a game for taking a knee during the national anthem? No, he's fucking not going to.
Hell no. He's going to come out and play with his balls a little bit. He's the most profitable player on the face of the fucking earth.
And I think Adam Silver would have been on. I think Adam Silver would have walked down to the court and done it with his players if his players would have started. Adam Silver's a much more progressive commissioner than Roger Goodell is, but
isn't Adam Silver gay?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
I thought he was gay.
Not that I'm aware of.
For some reason, I thought he was gay, so I was like,
you might be right, but I don't think
probably even better understand that situation.
And it's just...
I
have a problem with people who try to show like they are risking something or giving something to the cause when you know they're not actually doing it. The thing they chose to do is not costing them anything, and when you have something to give, LeBron James could very easily do a lot of activism with his position and have it not cost him anything, but the risk of it costing has to be there, and that's what Colin Kaepernick did, and that's great.
I mean, I
don't know how we got on that.
Shit. Well, what makes me sick is the capitalizing on tragedy.
That's right.
Like,
yes.
These people that are like, we're with our essential workers, we admire what you do. Thank you.
Well, we're not going to pay you anymore.
Exactly. I roll through McDonald's and these people are worked to the fucking bone, still making $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? Big lots right now.
I think something we all should have learned through this process is that fucking food service workers and janitors / cleaning services should be kings right now, right? Because they're all going overtime to serve our selfish needs, but nothing happened to their bank account.
Shit, dude, I work in a food distributor. If people, if I didn't work, people would not get the... shut the fuck up. but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to work every day. It's not so I could get something extra because that's what is required as a community, as a fucking whole. That's what you do. I'm not sitting here capitalizing off the goddamn shit. It's just like, you just, for God's sakes, just do it. Big Lots is advertising. I got a perfect example here. In my area, Corona hit really hard in a retirement village.
Mm-hmm.
They had 116 patients and they lost 59 of them. 59. And this is 12 minutes away from me in a little village called Sherman. Look it up if you folks want to. They're already advertising on the radio. They're still getting new cases. They're advertising on the radio the opportunity for new beds. We're the premier living village for seniors. Shit like this. Touting how they're fucking experts and stuff like that. 59 people.
Yeah,
Like, dude, that is insane.
This has seemed to slow down a bit now, but they're still on there sometimes, of the commercials of just companies like, we care about our workers, and what, like, there were so many fucking commercials about how much Walmart fucking cares or how much Amazon fucking cares, and it's like, no, you don't.
No, you do not. Yeah.
But it's
You make
easy
me
to make a
sick.
commercial. It's very easy to make a commercial about it, right? It's
And it's
not
cheap.
easy to actually write checks to those people who are putting in overtime. And it's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. Every major company, we stand with black people. My company put out an email just a couple days ago. We're a very diverse group of people, and it takes all of these diverse, but it was just all bullshit. And it's like, why do you feel the need to do that? If you appreciate somebody, tell them you appreciate them. Don't don't discriminate against them. Don't put out this blank fucking statement that really says nothing.
Or a commercial. It's just like, just
Commercials are bad.
do it. Like, that's why I respect this. I mentioned the CEO of Texas Roadhouse. That dude put $5 million, $5 million of his own money into a personal fund for his employees. He's not taking any salary, and there was some big bonus they got. He put it all towards the workers, all towards his employees.
Man.
A lot of them out of work.
Imagine someone with millions of dollars helping people that don't have millions of dollars.
He's got like $580 million. This is nothing to him, but he took care of his employees, and his message was, shit, people did this all the time when I was younger. Like, I think this is the right thing to do.
Why wouldn't you do that?
He didn't capitalize on that shit. He was just like, hey, here's millions of dollars to my employees. Like, I respect the shit out of that. Jeff Bezos put out 15 different fucking commercials and hasn't made a goddamn statement yet.
No. All right, let's move off that, because again, that's probably
I'll
a whole
fucking
hour
get
in itself.
hated.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right, so my next one, this is going to go one of two ways. I'm either going to get disowned by the indie podcast community, or I'm going to get tagged 1,000 times this Friday. I fucking loathe Follow Friday on Twitter. I hate it.
I hate it too.
Don't fucking tag me in it. I used to do it when I was just starting, as everyone does, and I was like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? The idea is great, and I get what it's about, and it makes sense, but if you're listening, stop fucking tagging me on Follow Fridays. I don't want to see them. You tag 20 accounts, and then every account has to reply with their little thank you gif, and my feed just gets drowned in Follow Friday posts and replies, and I basically can't do anything else on Twitter if it's a Friday.
Well, I don't mind them tagging me, but it's when they expect more than a like out of it. Like, I don't mind liking it.
I hit the heart
fuck
and I move on. Yep. I'm not doing anything else.
But I'm not going to sit here and tag a bunch of podcasts, because most people I talk to and shit like that on Twitter, they don't want that. They just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, you get a notification for each post you're tagged in, and then each response to that post, you get more notifications. And again, you can't turn off the notifications, because then you miss the things you actually want notifications for. And it's that and the tag chains I don't ever like. Like, if somebody's like, oh, name 3 movies from 1993 that changed your life or whatever, tag 3 friends. I'll usually name the 3 movies, but I'm not tagging people in it. Like, I am the one who stops those, and I'm fine with that.
You've tagged me in those before.
Yeah, sometimes if they're actually fun ones that I want to hear people's answers, I'll tag, but most of the time they're just stupid, and I'm like, okay, I'll interact with you because you put in an effort to tag me, but fuck you.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it, but it's like, if I'm not working, like, I love interacting with people on Twitter. I really, really do. But it's got to be on my own terms, or I'll fucking lose my mind.
I don't feel like Follow Friday is interacting.
No, that's just
Are we
spamming.
actually gaining anything from this? It's huge in the podcast community, supposedly to help grow followers for each other, but that's all it leads to. Are you out there following these new accounts on Follow Friday, and then you go listen to the podcast that you just followed? I'm guessing no. I'm going to say that rarely happens. Otherwise, we would see huge jumps in numbers on Fridays, right?
Right.
Of downloads. Never happens. Fridays is one of our slowest days, because nobody can get any content out because everything's drowned in Follow Friday. And, maybe it exposes my Twitter feed to more people, and, the Twitter feed is great for a podcast about something. Check it out. But I don't really feel like it increases engagement from any of these new followers. It's just a follow and then a move on, because they want you to follow them back. They don't give a shit what you're saying.
Pretty much. I think that's pretty accurate.
The people who I interact with on Twitter are always the same, 10 to 15 people. None of these new followers start engaging with me right away, and I don't start engaging with them. And that has a lot to do with Twitter's algorithm too, because like if you engage with someone and click on someone's tweet more often, you're going to see that tweet more often. or you're going to see that person more often on your feed. So that just keeps compounding and compounding, and you end up seeing only the same few people that you actually interact with, which is great. But then the Fall of Friday comes and that all gets drowned out.
Yeah, then it fucks it all up.
Yeah. You got anything else on entertainment and media? Because I've got one more.
I do not.
All right, so let's move into... Oh, no, sorry, I had one more thing. And this is very specific and most likely the most petty thing and insignificant thing that I have on here. The true daily double on Jeopardy. So my wife and I, we've been watching a lot of Jeopardy during lockdown because there's no new real TV. And I just super duper hate it when a contestant finds the daily double and tells Alex they want to make it a true daily double, which that's when they bet what they already have earned. Basically a double or nothing bet. Just say the fucking number. It's not that hard.
Don't they always lose too?
No, not necessarily, but most of these douchey Jeopardy guys are always like, oh, I've always wanted to say this, Alex. Let's make it a true daily double. And it's like, that, it just pisses me off so much.
It's like, really? That's what you always wanted to say?
Why is this the thing? Yeah, why is that the thing you've always wanted to say? What is going on in your life that makes you want to say this stupid phrase? If I ever get on Jeopardy somehow and I find a daily double, I'm just going to be like, Alex, I've always wanted to say this. I'm going to wager $5. Like the lowest number I can pick.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, true daily double people.
Just walk off the stage. I'll take my check, please.
Yeah. Get $1,000 just for showing up, right?
Do you really?
Yeah, I think third place gets $1,000.
Fuck yeah, man, I'll go.
Yeah. So.
Give me the money.
Right. Let's move into education. I'm going to go first because mine's short and sweet. Florida schools and the school system sucks. That's it. That's all I've got for education.
Illinois schools. They are terrible.
My daughter's going to kindergarten next year, so I'm sure in the upcoming years when we come back for part 3 and 4 and 5 of this, I'm going to have a lot more to say, but for right now, the whole school system is just awful.
It's fucking whack. I have 2 pretty quick ones.
Go for
One
it.
pertains to me as a college student. I fucking hated paying for the same book, but the 47th edition versus the 46th edition, and it had nothing new except for maybe like a new illustration here or there, and I still had to drop $185 on this fucking book. That's extremely ridiculous.
The college system in general is pretty bullshit, and there's definitely some things you could pick apart in that, but we're not going to do that today.
Yeah, I could go on, but I'm sorely disappointed in just the complete lack of resource allocation for education. It's pitiful. Like, dude, we spend nearly $1 trillion on our military. It's like $785 billion a year or some crazy shit like that. That is insane. If you took a pinch of that and sprinkled it through the education system, that'd probably alleviate a lot of the problems in America right now.
Yes. Pay teachers more money. Always.
Pay teachers a lot more money. I don't know why they're not starting at $100,000 a year.
With the Black Lives Matter protests right now is the police departments are hugely overfunded, and there's some money that could go to schools as well.
Here's an idea. Why don't you pay the police 125 G's out of the academy with a college degree, but their pension's half of what it is now? They're putting their lives on the line while they're working. Why not pay them for it? Probably do a lot of less bad shit if they're better paid. Better education. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do stuff, but I don't think we're qualified to... I mean, we can make some recommendations, but we're not decision makers here.
It's something where I firmly believe that, and I'll argue with anybody, that's the hill I'll die on, that if we want to, make this world a better place, education is the way to do it.
Yeah, no shit it is.
I mean, but that's...
Guess what? Smarter people make better decisions in every scenario imaginable, and if people are generally making better decisions, you're generally going to have better lives for everyone.
Right. I mean, it's not necessarily... I mean, you don't got to be super smart to be educated. I know a lot of not super intelligent people who are extremely educated and have successful lives. Like, I think that enables them to be more productive, it contribute more to society, more informed decisions, yada yada. The list goes the fuck on. And the people that teach us, they need to be treated with respect, and I think paying them a good wage is how you do so. Like, one of my buddies' girls is a teacher, Dude, it's like she goes to war every fucking day. All her time outside of this is consumed by these children, and she makes like $32,000 a year.
Yeah.
That breaks
pay
my
teachers
fucking
more
heart.
money.
End of education rant.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into shopping, our final category. You go first.
I briefly mentioned this earlier.
Okay.
I'm going back to IKEA.
I love IKEA.
Oh, fuck IKEA. All right. I have been looking
It's like
for...
a maze. You just gotta find the cheese at the end.
Hear me out. So, you think that IKEA is a very popular company. They're huge. They're all over the world. You know, they should be firmly established in their ways, regulation, shit like that. So I have been looking to get some Detolf,
yeah.
Detolf
Great
shelves for
6
months now. Jesus, I picked up 2 to display my action figures. We went
I've got
camping.
6. I'm waiting on one more this week.
God, that's a lot. But we went camping, and the nearest IKEA is in St. Louis, Missouri. So it's like, cool, I'll order these online, and I'll swing through and pick them up on my way back on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I put the order in on Thursday to be ready to be picked up by Saturday. I never get a follow-up email. Okay? No. And, they specifically say in the confirmation, do not come here unless you get a follow-up. So I end up going there on my way back just because I assume, well, maybe it got lost in translation, something like that. And there is a line out the door, all the way around the building, through the entire parking structure. And I get there with my wife, and we're all excited to go look around. I've never been in an IKEA. She's never been in an IKEA. We're all excited to look around and shit, and it's just like...
Did you get your map? You gotta have a map.
There's zero map, and when I tried to call the store, the line was disconnected. So I'm going in there like...
Disconnected
oh my god, dude. And it just got worse, because I went from... I left my wife in line among hundreds of people, most not wearing masks, super cramped together. There's no regulations whatsoever to go look for, like, a pickup option place.
That's because Sweden didn't have any issues with the coronavirus. So IKEA is just like a Swedish embassy. They follow whatever rules and regulations Sweden follows. They're not actually part of the United States.
Well, it was whack. And then, so
That's not true, by the way. I just gotta clarify.
Okay, I was going to say, that wouldn't surprise me. But I talked to 6 different people, and finally, I have terrible anxiety, so I'm like freaking out. I'm super sunburnt, sweating balls in this IKEA, and I'm just like, I should have been able to pick this up yesterday. Like, it's Sunday now, so it's a full day after my pickup time, and basically everyone's told me to fuck off. Like, if you haven't gotten the email, it's not fucking ready. There's 2 people checking out. There's hundreds of people waiting. I run into this dude. He said he'd waited 4 hours to get in this building. Moral of the story, I finally get my shelves because of this super, super duper sweet lady went out of her way to help me out. And then not 20 minutes after I leave this IKEA, I got an how are we doing email. Oh. Well, she was like, I bet you'll get an email here any second. I'm like, ma'am, if I didn't get the email by yesterday, I don't think I'm going to get the email right now. So can you please just help me out? And she did. Thank God for her. Shout out Carissa.
That's because they have 1,000 of them in the store, and she probably just went and grabbed them off the shelf.
That's what I'm saying. It's
not that fucking hard.
But most of these people were just like, don't fuck off, basically. And then they sent me this. How'd we do? What do you think? Sent me a fucking text and an email. And so, no. Here's the icing on the cake. And they called me the day after because I didn't respond to this bullshit. And so I finally let them know. I'm just like, hey,
everyone
it was whack. I'm
Carissa.
Literally never going to go back to IKEA if I can. If I got to order some more shelves.
Shout out Carissa, anti-shout out the rest of St. Louis IKEA.
She was the sweetest lady on the face of the earth, and she could just tell. She's like, this little fucking white dude is freaking out. I'm going to help him out right now. Because I'm very pasty, and when I freak out, I turn super beet red and just sweat profusely. And as a balding man, it just runs down my face like a fucking like that gif of Jordan Peele. And
I gotcha.
Yeah, so she helped me out big time.
I had a similar customer service experience recently with Anchor.fm support. that's our podcast host, the site that we upload all the audio files to. I asked, they've recently taken away the ability to add tags to a new episode, so we can say like, this is about Seinfeld and Kramer and blah blah blah. Like, you can put in these little tags. They took that away for some reason. Don't know why. So I sent an email to support. Hey, where'd this functionality go? Is it coming back? Blah blah blah. And after like 4 days, I get a response from somebody. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And they're like, hey, yeah, we know that this is a super important feature, and sometimes the programming team, they add and remove features, and they don't really tell everyone what's going on or why, and we don't know if this feature is ever coming back. And it was very blank, pretty much. Like, it didn't actually... Yeah, ambiguous. Thank you. It didn't address the thing I actually asked. It just kept saying the feature or, something along that line. I'm like, this is a fucking form letter that they just sent me. And they're like... And then they sent me the next day, how did we do with your service request? And I'm like, you didn't do anything.
You did terrible.
You sent me an email with like 1,000 words that said nothing.
Yeah, fuck you. This is just as bad as a terrible phone call.
Yeah. But that wasn't my one thing. So the one thing I have for shopping is, again, it's pretty COVID specific again, but as coronavirus is spreading, everything is trying to become contactless. Great. Let's not touch anyone or anything ever. I'm good with that. But for some reason, we still have to put in our PIN number or use the stupid little pen to sign our name on debit credit card transactions.
Right.
Why are we still doing this?
This is ignorant.
Legitimately probably the most touched surface in an entire store, and we're now increasing touching them because nobody's paying with cash, and nobody's properly sanitizing those things in between every customer. And like, why can't we have, instead of the PIN or your little fucking signature with your little pen, why can't we have some sort of two-factor authentication that we get a notification on our phone? Here, you just use your card. Did you use it? Boop. Yes. Don't have to touch your fucking thing that everybody else has touched. I only touched my phone. Literally everyone has their phone.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from getting corona from the gas pump.
Yeah, so the gas pump is the other bad part.
No, I 100% agree with you, dude.
The gas pump is the worst. I have that. The gas pump is the worst.
Yeah, I had to get some gas today, and it's just like,
Not only does everybody touch the gas pump, that again, no one's sanitizing, you got to push at least 6 buttons to get the gas to go into your car. There's got to be some better, less contacty way to do this. I'm swiping my card, then I've got to put in my zip code if it's a credit card purchase. Like, why am I putting in my zip code? That's got to be the easiest security to crack in the world. 99% of the time, if you find or steal a credit card, you can go to the gas station and probably put in the zip code you're standing in and get whatever you're trying to get just fine. Why is the zip code authentication?
It's pretty piss
poor. Fucking stupid. So let gas stations, grocery stores, everywhere, let's do better. Let's get away from touching the fucking buttons to put PIN numbers in or grabbing the pen that everybody else grabs and signing things. And that's what really grinds my gears.
That's what really grinds my gears. I love it.
You got anything else?
No, I think I'll skip it.
Okay. We'll skip it. Maybe on part 3 we'll get to it. We'll see.
Unless you got something in the forefront of your mind.
No, I don't have anything. All right. I'm done. It's an hour and 20 minutes. We can go. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Again, follow us on Twitter at APA something, at alone_podcast. But do not fucking follow Friday Us. We don't want it.
I'll take it because it's so
helpful. You can
helpful.
Follow us on a Friday, but don't fucking tag me in the Follow Friday. I don't want
it. If you tag me in a Follow Friday, say hi, DM me. Say hi. Let me know what you got to offer, and I will check out your podcast. Otherwise, it's just like...
Yeah, let's get some real interaction. Like, interact with me. Don't just tag me because you were going down a list of letters and A came up.
Yeah, tell me about your fucking show. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. Much rather follow you if you're telling me something interesting than just putting my name with 20 other names.
100%.
All right. That's all we've got. Music for a podcast about something is provided by those cats.
You gotta stay sassy.
Stay classy.